Welcome back to FM Storey. We are rapidly approaching the end of Season 2 with Milan, and things are going from strength to strength, really. We are in with a really good chance of making the Coppa Italia final, having won our first leg of the semi-final 4-0. We're 8 points clear at the top of the table with 9 games left to play. So without further ado, let's get into the action. We are approaching the end of April. We've got a home game coming up against Lazio, and if we win, we're champions. Since the last episode, our form really has not been great, but because of how far ahead we are in a position to win the title with what would be 4 games left to go if we do manage to do it. We ended the last episode with a 3-0 victory against Juventus. We've conceded a lot of goals this season. I think in all we've kept 6 clean sheets in 33 games so far in the league. We've nearly conceded double the amount of goals we conceded in the whole of last season with still 5 games to go. But we started after the end of the last episode with a 3-2 victory at home against Napoli. Morata getting a late-ish winner for us. We then won 3-2 against Genoa. A hat-trick from Rafael Leao, stealing the 3 points. We then followed that up with a 2-2 draw at home to Bologna, and then a 2-2 draw away at Verona. But despite those 2 draws, our gap at the top didn't really drop. We then had the second leg of the Coppa Italia semi-final, which we lost 1-0 away at Torino, but because we'd won the first leg 4-0, we're safely through to the Coppa Italia final, where we'll play Fiorentina. But looking at the league title, we are 13 points clear of Napoli, 14 points clear of Atalanta, with just 15 points to be gained. So if we pick up a victory in this next game, we are guaranteed to be champions. As I said, we're playing Lazio, who were in 5th, the challenging Juventus for the final spot in the Champions League by the looks of it. Sassuolo obviously still up there. Inter challenging for a European place with Roma, but there's been some disappointing seasons from Juve, Inter in particular. I mean, we're 31 points clear of Inter at this stage. But going into the game against Lazio, we've got everyone available apart from Tomori, who is suspended. So hopefully we can pick up the 3 points and wrap up the league title. So this is the side we've gone with. We've gone with Gabbia in replace of Tomori. We're sticking with the same team as we've played recently in front of that, with Leao through the middle. And hopefully we can pick up the 3 points we need to secure the title. So they're playing a back 5. We've got our usual 4-2-3-1 here. Back to their keeper, who's played it out. Walker wins it. Chukwueze in an advanced position here. Still has it in the box, cuts inside and puts it wide of the far post. Free kick for them. Walker again cuts it out, goes back to the keeper. And Thiaw out to Theo Hernandez, driving infield. Leao back to Reinders, out to Chukwueze, and driving infield. It's a challenge, but we've still got it. Reinders has gone all the way around the outside, and then a challenge on him in the box, and they look to bring it clear. Theo Hernandez steps in. Both teams giving the ball away in sort of advanced positions, but now we've got the ball into the edge of the area, and we've got to be hitting the target from there. All right, Gabbia with the free kick. Walker now cuts in, goes back around the outside, and goes all the way back to Gabbia. Walker again, infield to Reinders. Walker. Theo Hernandez, I thought that ball was a bit short for him, but it's gone there. Bacciarina turns, looks for Chukwueze. Walker now driving towards the box. And Bacciarina skied that one, and really we should have scored by now. chances we've created. But there we are, half-time 0-0. We've dominated the game and yet wasted chances that would see us secure a title. Right, we sent the same team out to start the second half. Right, forced into our first change. Chukwueze's gone off injured, so Soto's gone to the right, Leao to the left, and Santiago Jimenez has come on up top. Leao at the back. Into Reinders with loads of time. Finds Walker on the right. He lifts the ball to the back post. Jimenez gets his head on it. The keeper turns it onto the post. We've still got it now. Leao loses it there. Right, so we made some more changes to get some more fresh legs on. Leao, the ball Pato, who's coming on the right, driving towards the edge of the area. Still got it. Low ball into the box. It comes all the way through to Rafa Leao. Jimenez has been knocked off the ball, but Leao finishes it past the keeper. Puts us 1-0 up with 15 minutes to go. And in touching distance of a second successive league title, Pato drives it across, all the way through to Leao at the back post. He reacts quickest, gets the ball past the keeper, and that's 1-0. Right, Profundi back to Thiaw. Fofana out to Walker on the right. Graciano back to Walker, lifts to the back post, and Leao's got a second, and that surely has to secure the back-to-back league titles. He's got it, and he just lifts it into the back post and gets above his man, beats the keeper, and there we are, full time, and we've secured second successive league title. Really not an awful lot of competition this season. Both Juventus and Inter had absolutely stinking seasons. But we've done it, and I think that puts us one title ahead of Inter now on the all-time list. Still well behind Juventus. But we've secured the league title with 4 games left to go, and now the focus is, can we do the double? Can we win the Coppa Italia? So, time for the Coppa Italia final. We've played 2 games since we wrapped up the league title. We won 1-0 away at Inter. We won 2-1 at home against Torino. Both of those games we played rotated teams to rest our first choice 11 for this game. We are unfortunately missing Mike Maignan in goal. He failed a fitness test before the game. But otherwise, it's the outfield players that we've selected in most of the recent big games. All right, Theo Hernandez on the left, Sotil back to Thiaw, into Reinders in midfield, back to Tomori, now Walker, Chukwueze into Bacciarina, finds Leao, a great save by the keeper, and we've got an early corner. Going to be in-swinger from Bacciarina, aims it deep, headed clear as far as Chukwueze, who dinks it into the box and then it's headed clear again. Reinders out to Chukwueze again, Walker gets the loose ball, and then nothing comes of the cross. Theo Hernandez at the back, goes back to Sportiello in goal. Walker now on the right. Chukwueze into Reinders. Chukwueze, Walker now bombing forward. Short ball into Chukwueze on his left foot. He's lifted it over the top. They've gone long from the goal kick. Mori almost makes a mess of it, but tidies it up. Now Benassa into Reinders. Thiaw. They're giving us plenty of time on the ball at the back. Theo Hernandez to Sotil. Now Benassa. Some time. Reinders, first time into Bacciarina, makes the dart into the box. And the keeper's made another good save.
Another corner from Bacciarina. Again, it looks like it's going deep. And the header straight at the keeper. And then it's a goal kick. And they've got to throw deep in our half. On the edge of the box, Bove. Big deflection, takes it past Sportiello. And we've gone behind. Very, very much against the run of play. No one's anywhere near Bove. He's allowed to run to the edge of the area. His shot takes a huge nick and flies past the keeper. Right, a throw for us. Now Sotil, Benassa. Right, Sotil. We don't seem to have our shooting boots on today. Right, deep in injury time at the end of the first half. Bacciarina shifts it onto his left foot. Sotil with a header, and it's over the top. There we are, half time, 1-0 down. We've absolutely battered them in that first half. They've had one shot, and they're in front. Right, we've made one change at half time. Chukwueze's gone off. Sotil's gone to the right. Leao's gone back to the left. And Morata's come on up front. Right, Theo Hernandez with a free kick into the box. They've headed it up and away. Sotil goes back to pick it up. Drives to the byline, pulls it back, and Morata can't miss from a yard out. Once it got past the keeper's dive, it was a simple tap in, and we've levelled it up just on the hour. They've let Sotil run a hell of a long way, basically all the way around them. And then she cut in, found the pass, and Morata couldn't miss. Right, we've been forced into a change at right back. Walker's picked up an injury, so Terracciano's come on there. And now we've been forced into another change. Benassa's going off injured, so Terracciano's now moving into midfield, and Calabria's coming on at right back. Here is Calabria with a throw deep in their half. Reinders back to him. Cross towards the back post. Leao gets up, heads home, puts us in front 2-1 with 16 minutes left to play. They've just given Calabria a lot of space to be able to dig this cross out. And Leao gets up above his full-back and heads home. Right, we made our final changes to get some more fresh legs on in Parisi and Profundi. Corner from Reinders to the back post, headed clear. Sotil picks it up and again goes around the outside. This time plays it low into the box. This is Profundi. Now they're looking to break, but Graciano gets it back for us. And Sotil, low ball into the box. It's Profundi to turn it home to make it 3-1, and that should be the Coppa Italia secured now. Graciano finds Sotil, takes his time, picks up Profundi on the penalty spot. First time finish past the keeper, and unless we do something horrendously wrong here, we're going to end up with another trophy. Calabria, ball to the back post, Leao's header, headed away from Morata. Now they've cleared it up to the halfway line. Guame, we've made a challenge, but it's come to Ahmad. Finds the top corner. And it's not quite game over yet. Just before we go into injury time, they've pulled it back to 3-2. We've just not got back from our own attack there. It's a lovely finish. Seven minutes of injury time to see out now. Hopefully they don't get another chance. And there we are, full time, and a third trophy of the season to go with the Supercoppa, the Serie A title, and now the Coppa Italia. And it's been, with the exception of our Champions League campaign, a pretty outstanding season. Obviously, we've been helped in the league by some of the other big clubs having horrendous seasons that we probably can't count on happening too many more times. But we've won the league, we've won the Coppa Italia, and hopefully can move on to really create this dynasty that we're looking to create. So season 2 is over and done with, and as you can see, obviously we've got the league title, the Coppa Italia title, and the Super Cup. In terms of the new arrivals, I mean, a couple of them were obviously the loan deals that we turned permanent in Kyle Walker and Sotil. Sotil is down as a sign of the season, and I mean, I guess you can't really argue with 14 goals and 11 assists. But Profundi, with 12 goals and 11 assists, and he only started 10 games. Bacciarina, who came in January, made a big impact. In terms of the outgoings, it doesn't seem like an awful lot of the players that we sold did particularly well. Salamakis had a decent run at Juventus, I suppose. 9 goals, 8 assists, an average rating of over 7, but they didn't have the best of seasons. And then obviously in terms of the loan deals, so Ruben Loftus-Cheek's going on a permanent deal. Noah Okafor's going on a permanent deal. Emerson Royale would have gone on a permanent deal if he played 10 league games. We would have got 17.5 million for him. But he made 1 substitute appearance in his loan spell. So Emerson Royale will be coming back to the club. And obviously, as we can see, champions, we've ended up finishing 12 points clear of Atalanta in second. Napoli were third. Sassuolo, who'd just been promoted, were fourth. Lazio fifth, and then Juventus in sixth, qualifying for the Europa League, and Inter in seventh, qualifying for the Conference League. And both Juventus and Inter's managers are insecure, which, considering Inter sacked Simone Inzaghi at the end of last season, they've already sacked Xabi Alonso this season, and now Thomas Tuchel's on a shaky peg. It doesn't look great for them. We did play 2 league games after the Coppa Italia final. First up, a 5-5 draw away at Medina, where they got a 90th minute equaliser, which actually was enough to take them out of the bottom 3 and leapfrog Salernitana. But on the final day of the season, they lost. And then we also beat Empoli on the last day of the season 5-0, when they also had a chance of staying up as well. I mean, we put 6 past Atalanta early on in the season, and then obviously they were our biggest rivals for the title. Everything seems to have gone down a touch. Well, the sponsorship's gone up, broadcast revenue went down, and the competition prize money went down. I think that's a lot of that's to do with the fact that we did less well in the Champions League this season. We stuck with the 4-2-3-1. And overall, I mean, you couldn't really fault the players that we had and that we used this season. I think there are some players that have, more so in the first season were in the team or in and around the team, that are likely to move on this summer. I would think the likes of Musa, I like to move on. There's even a chance that Tomori could move on, because I don't think he wants to sign a new contract. He wanted to go last summer. He might be one to move that moves. We had a big offer in January for Santiago Jimenez, and given that we didn't really use him in the second half of the season, he might be another one that moves on as well. Rafael was outstanding. Fundy coming in, I actually thought he was behind a couple of the other players that we brought in to strengthen the squad, but he's proven to have really kicked on for us. And there we are, season 2 done and dusted. And there we are, season 2 done and dusted. We've done a domestic treble, winning the league, Coppa Italia, and the Super Cup. On a domestic front, an outstanding season, helped by those poor seasons that Juventus and Inter have had. But we just need to keep cracking on with that. We're now ahead of Inter in terms of total Serie A titles. We're still well behind Juventus, so there's still plenty of work to do to catch up to them. Champions League, we have to say, a big disappointment. We lost 4 of our 8 league phase games. We got hammered in the first leg of the playoff round by PSG. and went out with a bit of a whimper. So that's certainly something we'll be looking to improve on next season. I think we're looking to bring in some good young talent. And like I said, I think some of the players that have been a bit part players, sat on the bench for a lot, it might be time for them to move on. But join us next time to see what we do in the summer transfer market. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.